We're live. Hi, it's Monday. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, I'm Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I am cold right now. I have my little space heater on, trying to warm up the room. I don't know why I have it pointed the other direction and not towards me. All right, I am going to tap the screen and say thank you, thank you, thank you for the people that are here, that are joining me. If you are brand new to this, if you're brand new to like Life with Herpes or Alexandra's Lives or what are we talking about? My name is Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I was diagnosed with HSV1 in 2003 and HSV2 in 2011. I have been living with herpes for decades. So, with that being said, I decided in 2017 to open up publicly about my diagnosis and begin talking about it, to begin supporting people, to begin just to begin to tell my story. It was terrifying to go out there and get public and tell my story, but I am excited to be here with you. So if you are brand new and you're like, what do I do? How does this work? Go on ahead and ask your question. I answer my questions in the order in which they are received. And then do your best to keep the questions rated G, rated absolute G, no PG, definitely not PG-13, absolutely not rated R. We want this rated G because I get in trouble, you get in trouble, we all get in trouble with this app, and then it makes it not appropriate content. So I am here to support you. I'm here to support people that have been diagnosed with herpes. I don't know what I was just going to say right now. I had like 5 things go through my mind. When I was diagnosed, today on our support group call, so I have a community. I don't know if you know about it. I have a community. It is called the Secret Society. It is a community of people from all over the world who are diagnosed with herpes. So, excuse me, I'm cold. I have to drink my tea. In this community, I have people from Japan. I had someone on the call today from Africa. I had people from all over the United States. I have someone from Brazil. I have someone from Germany. I have someone from literally all over the world, people from all over the world who've been diagnosed with HSV, just like you, just like me, who are dealing with this. And one of the things that I heard in this community is I don't know where I would be without the community. And I can tell you exactly where you would be or where I was when I was diagnosed. I was alone. I was scared. I was dark. I didn't have any color. I didn't have that excitement, that whatever that twinkle in your eye is, whatever that is, I didn't have that because I was dying on the vine. I was withering away. I was angry. I was resentful. I was looking for somebody to save me or help me or just make it all better. And the truth is that there's nobody that can help you. Only you can help yourself. Right now I'm teaching my son how to ski and it's what he's 3 and I'm teaching my son how to ski. And when he falls down, I can't get him up, right? Like, I mean, of course I can, I'm his mom, but like he needs to learn how to get up on his own. I can't always be there for him to get up. And getting up on skis is a very difficult thing, right? If any of you are skiers or snowboarders out there, you know that it's hard to get up off of with your skis and you're all, yeah. So you have to do it on your own. My son has to learn how to get up out of the snow onto his skis and keep going. Just like us, when we're diagnosed with herpes, we have to learn how to get up on our own. No one can get up for you. No one can fix it for you. Looking for someone that's going to say, hey, Alexandra, it's okay. I love you. Even though you have herpes. I love you. Even though you have herpes. That's not what we want. We want to say, I am awesome. I am amazing. I got this. I am going to go through life. I am amazing. And you know what? Someone that is equally amazing that's going to mirror who I am is going to walk into my life. And this person's going to say, I don't care that you have herpes. I don't care that you have herpes. Not, oh, I love you even with herpes. No, I don't care that you have herpes. I love you. And therefore I love your herpes too. I love you. I love everything about you. And therefore I love your herpes too. Okay. That's what we want. That's the confidence that we want. And that's what we're working towards. We're not working towards that. I'm just going to get through it. I'm going to just suppress the idea that I have herpes. I'm just going to push it down. No, we push it down. It gets stuck. It creates disease. That's not what we want. We want to build that confidence. All right. I saw some questions come through as I was on my confident rant. Guys, feel free to ask your questions. How likely is it to have one initial outbreak and that be it? It's very likely. In fact, majority of the people that have HSV, that have herpes, are asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means that you do not show symptoms. I am not guilty. I can raise my hand to that. I was diagnosed with HSV1 oral in 2003. My second oral outbreak was 2017. So that was a long time, right? It was a long time going without an oral outbreak. And that may very well be your case. Just because you've had one outbreak, it doesn't mean that you're going to have one every week, doesn't mean you're going to have one every month, doesn't mean you're going to have one every year, doesn't mean you're going to have one every 15 years, doesn't mean, it means that your body's going to figure it out and it's going to be what your body's doing for you. Like, what is your immune system doing? Now, on the flip side, for whatever reason, I get multiple genital outbreaks. So for someone that doesn't get oral outbreaks often, I've had 5 since 2003. Not a lot, right? I have had multiple genital outbreaks. Why is that? I do not know. There's some things I can say that I definitely know that my vagus nerve, which runs along here, is activated. That's my fight or flight. When you're in fight or flight, you are activated. And when you're activated, your immune system cannot respond to what needs to happen. It's responding to fight or flight. It's in fight. It's in always action mode. It's always ready to attack. And so it just loses its strength. It just needs, like, I can't handle it, right? So I've been doing a lot of work with trying to calm my nervous system, with sauna work, with tapping. Do you guys know tapping? Are you into tapping? This is amazing. This right here. Life-changing. I do it on my son before he goes to bed just to calm his nervous system. So doing these types of things are what I've been working towards to help boost my immune system, to help lower my cortisol levels, to help lower my adrenaline, to help just tell my body it's okay, you can relax, to regulate my nervous system. I have herpes and I feel like it's kind of hard to find love. So I'm going to challenge you. Do you feel like it was hard to find love before herpes? And I'm going to challenge you to the answer was probably yes. Herpes magnifies your situation. It doesn't like create a situation. I would say it magnifies the situation. So whatever our narrative was like, oh, I can't find any, there's no good guys out there, there's no good girls out there, or I can't get this job, or I can't get into this university, and now I have herpes, so I really can't apply because I don't want to be too stressed out on my ACTs or my SATs or whatever they take nowadays, I don't know. And because I'm going to freak out and I'm going to get an outbreak, and then I can't get an outbreak because then I won't be able to concentrate on my exam, and then I won't be able to get in because I won't have the right SAT score, okay? Whatever that narrative is. It's all BS, and it's all something your ego is telling you to keep you scared, to keep you right where you are. Any of this mindset of abundance, of it's okay, getting herpes happened for me so that I can grow. I'm going to go out and live my best life. I'm going to be more confident because of that. That narrative is not what your ego is telling you. Your ego is telling you, or your subconscious is telling you, hey, this is a really bad thing that happened. Yeah, you really effed up that you got herpes. Yeah, no, you're the only one that has it. And love's going to be really hard to find, right? It's because there was a narrative somewhere in there that has made it very difficult. And I'm guilty of this. I'm not saying this is something I haven't gone through. I wouldn't be talking about this if this isn't something I've gone through myself. I was in my 20s when I was diagnosed with herpes. I was mad. I was a mad person. I don't think I looked mad. When I say mad, I don't mean that like in the British way. Like, it kind of sounds cute when people say, oh, that person's mad. No, I was an angry person. I was an angry potamus, okay? I was pissed off about dating. I was pissed off at men. I felt like they just cheated on you, or they just led you on. I didn't believe in Cinderella, like any of that stuff. I couldn't watch any of those silly movies that are just fun, mindless, that are just so fun to watch, like Bridesmaids or anything. I couldn't watch them. I was too angry. right? And getting herpes confirmed it. Like, oh, yep, there you go, Alexandra. It's just not for you, right? Confirmed it, proved it. That was just my subconscious mind saying, oh, this is what it is. Opposed to me changing my mindset and saying, all right, yeah, I get this is how you feel, but we're going to change that. We're going to change that belief system because it's not actually reality. There's other people that are in love. There's other people that are married to someone they love. There's other people that have not sacrificed just because they have herpes. And there's other people with herpes that are moms. There's other people with herpes that have their dream job. There's other people with herpes that are living their dream life. So why aren't you? And it took me 2 years to get that narrative. It took me 2 years. So that's where, back to where would I be without the secret society? Where would I be without the support group? That's where I'd be. I'd still be in that Eeyore phase of being upset, angry, pissed off, didn't trust men. Just that woman walking around that's pissed off. That's not what I wanted for my life. I didn't want that. I know you don't want that. If you truly, truly, truly want to find love, you will find love. You have to change your mind in order to find love. All right, I'll get off my rant. Was that too much? Did you guys like that rant? Is that content you guys want to hear, or do you just want Q&A? My purpose, my goal here is to transform you. My goal here is to get us, okay, we need to know about what herpes is, obviously. We need to know like the 101, what is it? What is the virus? But I don't want you stuck. I don't want you saying like, oh, my life is so bad, because I want you to go, oh my gosh, thank you. This is amazing. I woke up. This has changed my life. And you know what? I wouldn't change it. That's what I want. Okay. I have both. I have both HSV1 and I have HSV2. I have both types of herpes. I have HSV1 oral and HSV2 genital. HSV1 in 2003 and HSV2 in 2011. That's my case so far. I'm surprised. Like most of the time, you forget you have it. Yeah, if you don't get outbreaks, you forget you have it. Absolutely. It doesn't impact your life. It's the people that have constant outbreaks, which is really unfortunate, that are dealing with it. And I can say that if you haven't dealt with it, like you haven't dealt with it. When I would get genital outbreaks, I would go back to that. I don't want to use the word depression because I feel like that word is tossed around a lot. I would go to that dark spot. I'm not going to say it was depression because I don't think it really was. But I went to that dark spot of just wanting to crawl up into a ball. Michael's saying, I'm scared of having to disclose it to future partners and being rejected. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a legit concern. That's a legit fear. That's legit. It is scary to disclose because of that rejection. I want you to know that rejection is going to happen regardless. You've been rejected before. You were rejected. I've been rejected before for having, I don't know, just being me, not because of herpes. I was rejected many times without my herpes diagnosis. So yeah, rejection is going to happen. And yeah, rejection is going to happen because of having herpes. And here's why. Number one, the person is not emotionally mature to have the conversation. The person just cannot have this conversation with you. It's silly. It's I don't want to talk about it, whatever. Two, the person is deeply rooted in his or her belief that this is not acceptable. And that's not going to change. I can say so deeply rooted, like religion. You can't convince a Muslim of the Catholic faith and a Catholic of the Muslim faith. Not going to happen, never going to agree, right? And if you're so deeply rooted in whatever religion, you don't want to change. Like a Catholic isn't going to want to agree with the Muslim faith. It's just not going to happen, right? Or three, and this is the hardest reason why rejection happens and the reason why we do not want to hear it and we think that it's because of herpes. It's not, the person's just not into you. And that's the hardest one. But if someone's not into you, you'd rather find out up front, because why date someone for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 months to find out that this person really wasn't into you, right? I have both HSV1 and HSV2. How did I find out that I had it? I had horrible blisters everywhere. I had horrible blisters orally and horrible blisters genitally. I couldn't miss it. So I went and got obviously swabbed and everything, and it came back positive. What's it like living with others? What do you mean? Like living my life, like dating? A household? Like my husband and son do not have herpes. I live my life normally, except if I have an oral outbreak, I'm just a little more on guard because I have a 3-year-old, and so his hands can easily get towards me. But other than that, life is the same. Do you know where we are at with a herpes cure? I do not know where we're at with the herpes cure. Here's why. I just feel like that's above my pay grade. Like, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a researcher. I think that there will be a cure. I think that it's great. I think that there will be something. I think that there should be something. I don't know why there isn't something now. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I don't think you should wait for a cure. I think that you should go live your life, because the cure could be in 5 days or 50 years. And if you're waiting 50 years, you've missed out on life. You don't get that time back. Like what happened this morning, you never get that morning back, ever. It's gone. I can remember somebody in my office telling me that. He was about 40, 45. I was 25. And he's like, yeah, time's the most important thing. You never get it back. And I'm looking at him like, bro, like all I got is time. Like, but I didn't realize, but anyways, I look at it now and I'm like, I never get that back, right? So anyways, back to a cure. Will there be something? Absolutely. I have zero doubt that there will be something. Is the cure worth the risk? Because a lot of times with a cure, there comes with a risk, right? So you're going to have to be able to weigh that. Perfect example, is chemotherapy worth going through for a lot of people? A lot of times chemo is what kills you, not cancer, right? In some cases, it is worth the risk. In other cases, it's not worth the risk. So that's another thing to look at. And 3, you still have to do the inner work yourself. You still have to do the work. You still have to get through it. You have to heal the trauma. You have to heal it, right? Not a cure. A cure doesn't fix it. A cure just, I don't get outbreaks anymore. You still have to heal the trauma. And that's really the key. Once you heal the trauma, and I deal with it. I get outbreaks. I haven't healed it all, right? But once you heal it, you'll be able to get through it. What do my sores look like? On my mouth, they're blisters, solid blisters, pretty gnarly. Genitally, I get them in like 2 locations. When I get them around my anal opening, they're just paper cuts. You can really not even see them. When I get them on my tailbone, it's a blister. So I get all types. I talk about living with others. Okay, yeah, so like roommates, parents, kids, siblings, people you love, whatever. Absolutely. So I don't do anything special. When I have an outbreak, again, I have a 3-year-old. So it's very different than telling my husband, hey, I have an outbreak, just don't use my towel, right? Like he wouldn't, with a 3-year-old, he could use it because he's 3. And he might just go use it. So I do my best when I have an outbreak to not even let my towel touch the outbreak. Is the HSV virus going to live on the towel for a long time? No, it's not. Virus needs a host. The towel is not a host. It's not living. But I just do my best to avoid that. Anything else, like I don't worry about the shower. I don't worry if my son gets in the shower after me, my husband gets in the shower after me. I just make sure I'm not skin to skin with any person. So, I wear underwear to bed so that my husband doesn't come in contact with it. Things like that. That's it. That's really all I do. I make sure I wash my hands, of course. That's really it. Some people are saying you are positive for herpes and have no symptoms. That's totally normal. In fact, most people have HSV and are asymptomatic. Most people don't show symptoms. So yeah, that is totally normal. What was it? Oh, was mine contracted from 2 different people? Yeah, HSV1 was from one guy and HSV2 was from another guy. Can you pass it on to your partner without an outbreak? Unfortunately, you can transmit herpes to your partner without an outbreak. Unfortunately, that is possible. And it's called asymptomatic shedding. And so that happens when the virus wants to shed its DNA, just like we like to shed tears or skin or whatever. Trees drop leaves, all those things. So the virus pops up to the surface of the skin, it sheds the DNA, and you are contagious at that point, unfortunately. Do I take supplements? You are speaking my language. I do take supplements. I, in fact, are going to link the supplements that I take. And it's essential amino acid. It's a protein that helps block the replication of the HSV virus. This is a non-negotiable for me. It's something I take daily because I feel, for me specifically, it helps with the tingles. It helps with the prodrome, which prodrome is a tingle. It helps with that. Also, when I have an outbreak, I take this as well because it helps speed up the recovery of an outbreak, all right? This works for me. I'm not saying that this is a supplement. I'm not a doctor. I cannot recommend this to you. I could say this is what I take and this is what I use. This is a non-negotiable in my life. This is something I'm getting low on this. I need to order more. I do not mess around with this, okay? This is number one. The next thing I take is monolaurin. Now, monolaurin is an essential amino, no, it's not. Monolaurin is lauric acid. It's found in human breast milk. Let me pin it for you. There we go. It is something that's found in human breast milk. This is specifically from coconuts, so don't worry. We're not getting like random breast milk here. But what it does is it helps dissolve the outer layer of an enveloped virus. An enveloped virus an enveloped virus is the HSV virus. An enveloped virus is also cold viruses, flu viruses, other viruses that are going around are also enveloped viruses. So this also helps protect our immune system with other viruses, not just HSV. So this is an overall immune support, but also specifically protects us, not protects us, but helps us get in and fight the enveloped virus HSV. With this envelope, with this shell that it has, our immune system cannot penetrate it. It's like this right here. It can't penetrate it. So it allows us, our immune system, to break through the outer barrier so it can go in and fight. All right. Last but not least is the Andrographis, which is something that is extremely potent with the immune system and extremely potent with HSV. So something I also take daily that I feel helps me tremendously. So these three are my arsenal that are my non-negotiables. They are all in the store for you. You can check them out. Monolaurin, Andrographis, lysine, they again are non-negotiables, and this is something I do not mess around with. And I take this daily. Guys, if you have just been diagnosed with herpes, or you are diagnosed with herpes and you're like, what do I take? What is something natural I can do? What are some things topically I can do? How do I deal with my outbreaks? How do I deal with my outbreaks? I have a free ebook. It's 21 pages. I've been writing it since 2017. I continue to edit and revamp it. I just revamped it like a couple months ago. It's a free ebook talking you through a diagnosis, and then also some natural remedies. It's called Outbreak Remedies. You can go to outbreakremedies.com, or it's linked here in my bio. You can check it out, outbreakremedies.com, to help you through what we need to do. What are some natural remedies to get through our outbreaks? While we do have the antiviral, which is something you can take, it has to be prescribed to you by your doctor, it has to be recommended to you by your doctor. I can't recommend that, of course, but what I can talk about are some natural things that I do. What would you tell someone positive for HSV1 with no symptoms? If you're positive with HSV1, no symptoms, you got it made in the shade for someone that has herpes, because majority of the population has HSV1. So you're going to run into people that already have it. Number one. Number two, you don't get outbreaks. So that's all good news. So if you have to have a situation, you've got the best one. But as far as disclosing, yeah, it should be something you disclose, because you can accidentally transmit this to a partner, and you just want to give the partner that opportunity to make his or her own decision. Chances of passing it to your partner if you're on an antiviral are very slim, very low. It's into the small percent chances. It lessens the transmission rate by 48%, and the transmission rate was already not very high. So I was told by my doctor this was a hearsay, this is what was told to me. I don't have it in writing, but I was told it's a less than 1% chance, but I would definitely look that up and see what you feel most comfortable with. the drug company does say it's a 48% chance of lessening the transmission. Is it too soon to disclose on a first date? It's whenever you want to disclose. I personally would say, yeah, it's way too soon to disclose. I don't think you should disclose on the first date unless you are going to expose the person. But I don't think you should disclose until you're ready to expose this person. Heard there was a cure. Yeah, I'm not sure about a herpes cure, guys. I just talked about it. Would you recommend Valtrex? So I cannot recommend Valtrex. I cannot recommend taking any sort of prescription medication. I can tell you what I've done. I did take it when I was first diagnosed. I took it on and off. Then I went on it for 3 years straight. Looking back, I wish I didn't take it. Looking back, I wish that I would have just learned my body a little bit more. I personally feel that we don't need to be taking prescription drugs unless it's something that's really important, and something like HSV is something that your body will naturally fight and naturally get over it. Will you have you might have seasons of like, this is too much, I can't handle this, I need to go on it. I totally understand. You do you, right? There's been seasons in my life where I'm like, I have to go on it. I was on it when I was dating, so that was something that was important to me. I just wanted to protect my partner. But, and it is the best way to prevent transmission to a partner. But for me, I wish that I would have let my body fight it naturally. That's just me. I didn't know about supplements. I didn't know about lysine. I didn't know about arginine. I didn't know about monolaurin. I didn't know about Andrographis. I didn't know that arginine caused outbreaks. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you could, with your diet. I didn't know that with stress. I didn't know how to handle my stress. I didn't know how to handle my nervous system. So I wish that I would have learned that sooner. That's just me. Any risk with pregnancies? The risk with pregnancy, and I do have a blog on it if you go to Life with Herpes. I'm 9 months pregnant with my doctor, which is obviously a really tender moment for me with my OBG. You can, it's a really great blog. But anyways, risk with pregnancy. The risk is during delivery, not in utero. In utero, your baby is safe. Your baby's not going to contract it in utero. The risk is passing it during a vaginal delivery. Someone's saying valcyclovir is a beautiful thing. Yeah, the antiviral works great. It does a great job at masking the symptoms, at helping with the speeding up recovery. It is good at that. If you had a choice to prevent getting positive, would you avoid it? Of course. Well, I mean, of course, if I could have, like, if I had the choice, okay. If I would have had the choice, like, it had my partner disclosed to me, I would not have been intimate with him, only because I didn't like him enough. Now, if it was my husband, not a problem. If it was somebody that I was deeply in a relation, like this is someone I'm absolutely madly crazy with, it wouldn't have been an issue. Someone that I was just, maybe not. I don't know. Do I like you? Do I not like you? Well, maybe we should try this. Maybe if we do this, it'll feel like maybe I'll like you more, right? I should have just listened to my gut and been like, no, but then I wouldn't be here. So anyways, I would say if you like the person enough, if you are connected with the person enough, herpes isn't going to matter. You know, but if I could go back and if I was given the choice, I would not have slept with the person. If I'm now asking you, would I go back and change getting herpes? No, because I feel like I've grown and become such a different person with it. And I love the person that I am. So no, I wouldn't have changed it. Does that make sense? Someone said, where are my earrings from? I have a jewelry company, actually. So if you go to Alexandra Harbushka Co., you can order them. They're 14 karat gold. Check them out. alexandraharbushkaco.com, and you can get my earrings. Does my husband have herpes? He does not have herpes. Hey girl, can I DM you? Yeah, you can DM. I'm actually really good on my DMs on Instagram. To be honest, I'm not great here. Instagram would be better. What is a flare up like? Hold on. Okay. What is the percentage of transmission? I'm on suppressive therapy, lysine, myelinoxidil. I can't give you, I've read here, I've read there. It's very hard to give you a percent, so I'm very hesitant to even say that. But I would guess, like, I can't get, it's from what I've heard, what I've read, it's less than 10%. It's in the low percent chances of transmission if you're on suppressive therapy, like taking the antiviral and taking lysine and not getting outbreaks. You're at a very, very low percent chance, like single digits. But I just hesitate to really say that because I don't want someone to be like, oh, you know what I mean? Definitely ask your doctor if you have questions on that. And that's going to be your best way to prevent transmission. How do you start the journey of healing the trauma of contracting from an unfaithful partner? That's the ultimate betrayal, right? Someone betrayed you. I would say, well, I do have some information coming out, and I would say you should sign up for that information, but I don't have the sign up list ready. I would say the best thing that you can do would keep following this community, keep following Life with Herpes. Number one, practice forgiveness. We need to forgive that partner. If that partner knew or didn't know that he had herpes, then, like, if he knew he had herpes, you have to forgive him and he obviously knew he cheated on you. You have to forgive him because whatever he was going through, he was dealing with his own ish, right? And he's on his own turmoil. So you have to forgive him for that. With that being said, forgiveness doesn't mean forget, and I understand that. Doesn't mean forget. You just have to forgive that person, because holding that anger, holding that grudge, holding that poison for someone only poisons yourself. You're literally mixing up, you're like the wicked witch in Snow White, making the apple and giving it to him, but you're eating it yourself, literally, right? So forgiveness. And number two, take responsibility for your actions. Now, I know it's really easy to say that, like, especially if you're cheated on, like, you did this to me. I get it. But there are certain things we can look at and say, okay, I chose these things, or I chose this, or I knew there were red flags, or I knew this was happening, or I should have had this conversation, or I did. Take responsibility for the actions that you led, that you were in. You're responsible for 50% of it, right? So those two things, and I would say continue, like, our support group, the Secret Society community, the support group is amazing. We talk about this all the time. We talked about it on the group today. Like, we talked about healing trauma. We talked about changing the mindset. We talked about changing the vibration of our cells. We talked about all sorts of things like that. So I would say joining our community is going to be the best way to, or any community. Obviously, I think the Secret Society, the Life with Herpes community, obviously I think that's the best. It is linked for you. Joining the herpes community, it's going to be the best way. It is a monthly membership. There's hundreds of people over the world. What do flare-ups look like? It's going to be different for everyone. It can be, again, a paper cut. It can be a series of blisters. It can be all sorts of things like that. No, I did not get herpes from my husband. If you're asymptomatic, you do shed less, assuming so, right? We don't really know, but most people that are asymptomatic shed less. What about childbirth? I was able to have a vaginal delivery. I took the antiviral. So people ask about transmission. I can talk about what my doctor told me with my child. He said, if you're not having an outbreak, you don't have any symptoms, you're on the antiviral, you have a less than 1% chance of transmitting herpes to your son. What does it mean when your antibody levels are undetected? Great question. So in order for us to test through a blood test, we're not actually looking for herpes in our blood. We're looking for the antibodies in our blood. So your body takes time to create the antibodies. It's not like if this is herpes and I don't have it, like, let's just say this is herpes and I don't have it, and and let's say you go test me right now for it, do a blood draw, I'm going to be negative because my body hasn't had a chance to create the antibodies. And it can take up to 3 months. It can take a long time. It can take more than that. So that's what that means. Some people are saying they get outbreaks before, during, or after their periods. I know. It's really common for a lot of women to get them or when they ovulate. Something you can do if you want to take antivirals, you can take the antivirals during your period. I personally would say I would boost my immune system. I would take more vitamin C. I would take more vitamin D. I would realize this is a difficult time for my body. I would be a little bit more gentle with my body during my menstruation. And I would up the supplements. I would up my lysine. I would take more lysine. I would up that. I would also maybe take an Epsom salt bath to calm my body, to calm my nervous system, to chill, to treat my body a little bit better. I would do that. This is the recovery soak. It's designed specifically for people with herpes. There's 3 soaks in one of these. It has Epsom salt, sea salt, olive oil, chamomile, oregano oil, all yummy stuff to help you. No, my husband does not have herpes. How often do I have outbreaks? Orally, I've had 5 in 21 years. Genitally, I have gone from having them a couple times a month, back to back, to going months without it. So it really just depends on what I'm going through. Andrographis is an herbal extract that is very potent for our immune system and also helps fight the HSV virus. If someone's undetectable, can they pass it? Yes. If they know they have it and they're undetectable, yes. Yeah, if you deal with fissures and hemorrhoids, it can easily be mistaken for outbreaks. I've had not lots, but people are like, oh, I thought it was an outbreak, and then they realized it was hemorrhoids. Yep. Earrings, alexandraharbushkaco.com. The difference between HSV1 and HSV2, they're different viruses. Their viral DNA is different. It's like twins. Are they different? Yeah. Are they very similar? Yeah. Can you mistake one for the other? Yeah. Do they do the same thing? Yeah. Right? So HSV1 is far more common. 2 out of 3 people have HSV1 and 1 out of 6 have HSV2. But regardless, they're both very common. They both do the same thing. They're just, HSV1 prefers oral, HSV2 prefers genital, but they basically do the same thing. How did I disclose to my husband? I actually disclosed the same day I was diagnosed because my husband and I worked together, and I went into the office white as a ghost, and he asked me what was wrong, and I word vomited on him because I couldn't keep it in. But I then disclosed, when we eventually started dating, I had a conversation about it. Just hey, remember? And he was like, I don't care. It's fine. All right, guys. I want to thank you for spending the day with me, for being live with me. I appreciate you. Lots of great stuff. Everything is linked that we discussed. And I just appreciate you all. So have an awesome day. I will see you soon tomorrow. Thanks for my chill out look. It's raining here in Vegas today, so I love it. All right. Bye, friends. I appreciate you all. Thanks.